Hello to all my planner people, mamas, and entrepreneurs. My name's Sydney, and this is the Planning Mompreneur podcast. This is where I'll talk about all things planning related, mom life, and small business life. Most importantly, how I juggle it all. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Planning Mompreneur podcast. This week's episode is going to be related to the planner community and my personal experience. Now, I've had a bit of a problem trying to figure out what the next episode should be about. I'm so sorry for missing the last couple weeks. I was sick one of the weeks, and then also in the back end of things, I've been dealing with a lot of very random different issues, whether it be technology related, PayPal, missing mail, things like this. I'm really burnt out, if I'm going to be honest. So I did need to take a step back. And even so, this week's episode may or may not be a short one. I don't have too many notes for this one. I took these notes back on October 15th. So it's been a couple weeks and I only have a little bit of guidance when it comes to this episode. I just really wanted to put something out there before I leave for the SGS Orlando conference, which next week there will not be a podcast unless I can magically record another one. I also wanted to put in, I'm sorry that there's no video for this week. I am just one hot mess express mama right now. So yeah, I have no business filming myself in my current state. So I just wanted to put that out there. So without further ado, I'm going to start this podcast, and I want to start it with kind of like what the planner community is. For those of you who may not know, it's a great little place. I want to say it's a bigger place now than it was when I first joined in around, let me think, when did I start? I started in the planner community back when I was working at the hospital. Like my first job out of school. I'm trying to remember which year that would have been. 2014? 2015 or 2014. I want to say 2015 was probably when I got my first Erin Condren planner. So that was when I first really dove in and started ordering stickers on Etsy. My first addiction to buying stickers was the Coffee Monsters Co. I've been there since the beginning when she first started. She's still my favorite sticker shop to date. That's pretty much one of the only shops that I actively always purchase from, other than my good friend Christina. She has a shop and she's Canadian as well. Her shop is Katie Makes Stickers. I like her floral stickers. And then for character stickers that's not my own, I use the Coffee Monsters Co. Helen is like girl boss central. She started when she was so young, and everybody aspires to be like that. So just a little side note, I definitely look up to Helen. Anyways, so that's just like a random little thing about myself. See, I'm already going off on things that don't really relate. I guess it could. Anyway, so I got into the planner community, what did I say? 2014, 2015. And at first it was okay. So my experience at first was, this is cool. I loved to scrapbook at the time, so I kind of fell into planning with stickers because of my scrapbooking obsession. So I think everybody was fairly nice when I first started out. I made a few good friends, shop owner friends. I went to planner meetups that were local. We used to do some local here in Vancouver, BC, at Michael's, and that was really cool. Wow, I'm just remembering all the things that I did before having kids that now I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have time to go out and do that. But I did do that, and it was really neat. I met a couple of really great friends, actually, by doing that. And then also, even on Instagram, I found a lot of people were really nice and welcoming. And I first started, I didn't have any followers, obviously. I made my first planner Instagram account, and it was sydneyplans.xo. It might still be active. I haven't posted on there in years now, because I kind of morphed my personal planner account into my business account, because I just couldn't keep up with being active on two separate accounts. So yeah, that's why I did that. But I used to do all my posting on sydneyplans.xo. And sorry, I had a YouTube channel, Crafty Planner Mom, and I would share like my sticker hauls, plan with me's, things like that back in the hefty Erin Condren era, happy planner era thing. And then I kind of morphed into like TNs at one point. So I've had a lot of different eras. But I found everybody was pretty welcoming. It was up until I actually started my own business that I found things shifted, which I'll get into. But yeah, I found amazing friends by joining the planner community, and I have nothing actually wrong with the planner community itself. I think it's amazing, a great outlet to share stuff that we love and to kind of relate with other people that really enjoy stickers, markers, planning, you know, things that if I talk to some random person at work, they'd be like, what? You spend money on what? You do what with your time? So that's just a little thing. So, you know, actually I did notice a little bit when I started PRing, especially because before I started a business, I was a PR girl. And I really enjoyed doing this for shops because I liked sharing things that I liked. So I found it came really naturally to me. But I did notice that people were very cliquey back in, say, 2015 to 2018. People definitely had their cliques, especially as shop owners, I noticed. And then there was like one Facebook group that everybody was like terrified to be posted in about or to even post in, I found. I forget what it was called now, actually, and I left it a long time ago. There was just a lot of drama being posted there, which I think was great for businesses that, say, were shady. There was a couple things I can remember, specifically with scallops and things, or businesses just going out of business and not sending customers refunds or their product. That I definitely think was warranted to be posted about because that's fraud, essentially, or like, you know, bad business practice. People need to be aware of those things. So no quarrels with that, but it was just like the unnecessary drama people would bring. I found it very interesting, and honestly, I'm so passive that I want nothing to do with it, so I left the group. I don't want to be in it. I don't want to know about it. I'm just not that type of person. So yeah, it just makes me really anxious, actually, even if it has nothing to do with me. I'm not a drama fun person. I don't find it, you know, exciting to talk about even. So I did find it very cliquey, and so fast forward to, let me just think of my notes. Fast forward to like when I had a shop. So I opened my store or my business in 2017 of March. And because I was not involved in any drama, I didn't really talk to anybody who knew about it. I had no clue about it. I ran into some bumps with just certain cliques of people. Cliques? I don't even know how to say the word. I guess I sold items or like a custom item to somebody that they didn't like. I remember this now faintly because I haven't honestly thought about this in years. But it's actually funny to me now. So I accepted a customer that apparently I shouldn't have accepted because other people didn't like them. I had nothing to do with their drama. I knew nothing about them. They're just a customer, right? You know, you get an order, you fulfill it. I don't look into their name and type it into Facebook or type it into Instagram. I was not about to do that, and I certainly don't do it for the hundreds of orders I get a month now. Like, I'm talking over 500 orders. I'm not going to do that. So I just kind of got into a little bit of a trouble, I guess. Not really, because I don't even know how to word it. It's just so funny now looking back. Anyways, I kind of stood up for myself in a sense that instead of being friends with these people who are trying to tell me what I could and couldn't do, I decided to basically just run solo. I was good acquaintances I found with these people at one point. And I still to this day have nothing wrong with them. It's just I decided for myself, because of who I am, I don't like being involved in drama. I don't even want to know about it unless it directly involves me. I really don't give a shit, if for lack of better words. Like, that's just how I am. It's not my business, okay? So I decided to just run free on my own, do as I would as any other business owner, because I feel like other people's business is not my business, and that should be held like to the same standards for other people. My business is not your business unless I make it your business, and at the time I did not want other people's business to be my business. I didn't ask for it. So yeah, I kind of just stepped back from these people and did my own thing. Like, you know what, if I don't need, like, essentially I was thinking I'm just going to do what I think is best. And at the time, and I still to this day do not regret my decision, I found it a little bit childish the way things were back then in the planner community, especially with different business owners and, you know, big name people. Like big, I guess, what are influencers, I guess they would be called, but I don't even know what they were called back then. I guess just PR people or just known personalities. I felt it was best to step back, and I kind of did things on my own, which is totally fine. I'm proud of everything I've accomplished without having any sort of big name people in my corner, and I don't regret it to this day, because I am who I am, and I'm not going to change because somebody tells me I should change. And I definitely think, as like an advice I can give anybody starting out, is find your people. If you have a gut feeling that some people are not in your corner in a positive way, I probably wouldn't keep them in your corner. Just, you know, I sleep at night knowing I didn't do anything that I'm not proud of, so that's good for me, right? So yeah, there's just a lot of cliquey things going on. There was, honestly, right now, in the last couple years, I haven't noticed anything, but then again, I still stick to myself. I've made, now in the last few years, really awesome, close friends with the planner community. One of my friends, Christina, which I mentioned in the beginning, she lives in Calgary. I actually flew there to meet her for the first time with my son, and it was so great. We're going to SGS together next month, the Sugar Gal Shop, Orlando. It'll be fun. It's like a mom trip away for us. She's really one of my best friends right now. And then a few years ago, I would actually say before I had Jackson, so in 2017, I went and flew to Winnipeg to meet somebody who I became really good friends with as well, Leslie. You're awesome if you're listening. I did that, and I didn't know, like, I've never seen her in real life. I just was talking to her on Instagram for hours and through text, and we talked on the phone. So I was like, I'm going to go meet her. So I did that, and I actually went back a couple times to Winnipeg to visit her. So that was really cool. So yeah, I don't know. I think the planner community has been awesome for me. I say some of my best of friends are people I've met through the planner community, and I don't actually have a lot of friends. I kind of like to keep to myself, like I said. Especially since becoming a mom, I really only keep a few good people in my corner, and that's about it. Sorry, I had to take like a little break, so I paused it because I'm out of breath. I forget to breathe. So another thing I just wanted to talk about was the cancel culture. The cancel culture is something that is very prominent in the planner community. I find if somebody looks at somebody the wrong way, it used to be, I shouldn't say that now because I haven't really noticed it, but if somebody essentially online looks at somebody the wrong way, there was like a huge cancel culture thing. Sometimes it's warranted, of course. There's different political issues and things like that I'm not going to get into because I also like to stay out of that kind of stuff when it comes to my business. But those things I'm not talking about. I'm talking about little like petty things. Nothing that's super like a big issue, of course. So that was something, there was a lot of intimidation was the right word, to do things the way some people wanted them done, or it was my way or the highway kind of thing, which kind of goes into what I was just talking about. And I essentially did lose a lot of connections by saying no thank you. I'm doing things my way, which I'm proud of. Like, it's my life, my business, and it wasn't about to happen to me. Like, I wanted to be authentic, I guess, without other people's opinions persuading the decisions I made. I think that's the best way to put it. And to this day, now that I'm a mom of 2, I kind of chuckle because a lot of these people were, like, I'm talking older than me, like a decade, in some cases, with kids, supposed to be more mature. And I found there was a lot of immaturity going on. Granted, I did mature at a younger age, I found. I've always been more insightful. I've always known what I want. And so I know some people may not be the same way, but I just found it, in my personal opinion, to be a bit immature. So of course, that's another reason why I stepped back, because that's not the people I want to surround myself with. So yeah, I don't want to get too much into it because I haven't thought about it in years. But this is a big reason why I kind of am the way I am when it comes to the planner community. I do stick to myself. I have made a lot of friends, but I don't trust a lot of people, especially online. You guys know how the internet is. So I'm trying to really, really work on boundaries. And this has helped me substantially. Just kind of separating the people I know are my friends and the people who are just like, acquaintances or, friendly people. I kind of try not to overshare with these people. Of course, I'm oversharing now a little bit, but I find if you're listening to this, you want to know a bit more about my personal experience, or you're just listening to poke fun or whatever. I don't care. Whatever suits your needs, you do you, but I'm hoping anybody who's listening is actually wanting to listen. So yeah, I pretty much that wraps up like my whole experience. I think it's amazing. I wouldn't have my business today if it wasn't for the planner community and all the amazing humans in the community. I often dwell on the negative in anything, and that's something I'm also working on. And this, you probably can tell based on my podcast, I kind of have more negatives than I do positives. Or I have more to say about the negatives. And that's just because the positives are very simple, at least in my opinion. Like, there's the good people, they're amazing, I appreciate them. The bad people, I have more to say things about, if that makes sense. I have more to elaborate on. But yeah, I just wouldn't have my business, or I wouldn't even be where I am today without the amazing people I've met. I've had a lot of PR girls myself, and they've all been just so amazing. I think I've only had one issue with one of them, and honestly, it's not even a big issue. So yeah, I've enjoyed every bit of my experience except for a little bit in 2017. And so I'm going to try and focus on the many years of great experience I've had and try and forget about that little bit of crappy experience, if that makes sense. Anyways, before I end this podcast, I wanted to ask if you guys could message me on Instagram or something. I just wanted to ask what your favorite thing you could think about for me to talk about would be. That doesn't even make sense. I definitely need some sleep or some coffee or both. What would be your choice of the next topic if you could choose? That's a better way to word it. I don't even think I'm getting better at this. I think I'm getting worse as the weeks go on, to be honest. My voice is a little off still. I'm still not feeling the best and under extreme stress. So maybe that's why my brain is just so spacey. That's the right word, spacey. Also, if you guys have any, not opinions, but what is the word I'm thinking of? If you have any ways to try and get out of this feeling of being spacey, I would definitely love your opinions and wisdom, because I just can't kick it. I don't know what it is. I'm going to go to yoga tonight, and I'm hoping that helps. I went last week as well. So I'm hoping by doing once a week at least of some me time or self-care that might help. This episode was pretty random, like they always are, but I'm thinking about next time what I should do. I'm just looking. So like other podcast ideas I've written down was my biggest struggles to date, finding balance, which I think I've already done, FOMO, and also as a business owner, trends, lessons learned, being in a storefront. So if you guys don't know, I put my stuff in the Makers, which is in BC in Canada, and I have it in 2 locations now, Guildford and Tsawwassen. Certain supplies, mental health struggles and burnout, Etsy versus Shopify, getting over self-doubt, manufacturing things, best investments. Anyways, I have a whole list. So also, if you message me on Instagram, I'll take into consideration what you guys think I should do for the next episode, which I wanted you to like let me know your ideas, but if any of those speak to you, definitely let me know as well, because this will really help me prioritize which ones I should be doing first. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this chatty podcast episode, and as always, I wish you the best in the next few days or week or so, whenever I post this and whenever I post another one, the time in between, and I will chat with you guys in my next podcast. Bye.